Hi there, welcome back. Okay, for Sunday's video this week, I thought I'd do something a little bit different, have a bit of fun. Now, we all know, don't we, that you can use the sanding residue from sanding down filler, the stuff that gets all over your bench, all over the floor. If you collect it up and keep it clean and pure, you can recycle it by mixing it with resin and some hardener, and you can make more body filler from it. Done that loads of times. Also with sanding down fiberglass, because you're simply reconstituting the rubbing down dust. We all know that, but one of you guys in the comments over the last couple of weeks said you can actually use talcum powder, mix it with resin and some hardener, and it makes body filler. Well, I've never heard of that, and that's incredibly cool and really interesting. So we're going to have a go and see if it actually works. Talcum powder, resin and some hardener, and see if we can make body filler out of it. What are we doing? Let's have a go. Okay, first of all, before we get started on the talcum powder, can't believe we're doing this. I'm going to show you how it actually works with this. This, as you might remember the other week, is the collected filler dust from all the sanding on the tail so far, and I put about ½ inch of water in the bottom and I put it in there to make it a little bit less liable to fly everywhere, and I was going to ball it all up into a lump and dispose of it. But I thought, while I'm going to do this, seeing as I'm going to do this, I'll use a little bit of this. I've let it dry out, I've left the top off for a few days, I've let it dry out to a powder. So that is sanded down body filler itself. That is body filler. So I'm going to put the finest bit of that I can in there, and let's see if we can make more body filler, fresh body filler out of that first. Right, and normally this stuff is extremely fine and a lot more flyaway than this, more of a powder, but it's only because I put water in it, and that may trash the opportunity for it to actually work, but it's only just to prove a point. I wouldn't use this for actual body filler because it is slightly damp. This is just to prove a point. Right, there's body filler powder. There we go. That's what you sand down and goes on the floor. So, a little bit of regular ordinary resin. Let's see if that works. A bit more. Now straight away, this is, as you can see, it's got a different texture to body filler that you see in the tub, but let's get it on the board. Let's see how it behaves with a spreader. Let's get some hardener in it. Classic golf ball to a pea. That's about right. Get that mixed in. Okay, there we are. Right, let's do the right thing. A little bit of metal. Bit of metal there. Like that. Okay, that'll do. Right. Still warm, still curing. While that's finishing off curing, let's try the talcum powder and see if that actually does make body filler. Talcum powder, fiberglass resin. Again, it's not, obviously it's a different substance to what the body filler is made from, but that's pretty much the exact consistency of the stuff that comes out of the tin, that grey stuff. Feels about right. Certainly behaves like body filler. You can spread it and move it around like body filler. Let's just get that the other end there. it almost looks like it's a lot finer than filler. Right, let's let that cure as well. See how it sets. Because what's more interesting, and I think a great way to tell whether this is a body filler and would make a good substitute in an emergency, is whether it sands down and behaves in the same way, and whether it's firm. Because once that's set, we should see whether it's flexible or not. Let's give that about 15 minutes to go off and come back to it. Cup of tea, Ben?
Yes, please.
Let's get the kettle off. Right, and a block. Try this one first. And there we are. I think we all knew that was going to work. That's standard body filler. It has got these little grainy pop marks in it, which regular filler doesn't, but I could be because it was very slightly damp when it went on. But that wasn't what this was about. This was about testing this, which is talcum powder mixed with resin and hardener. So let's see if it sands. It sands up all right. Beautifully smooth, lovely. That's only 40 grit, so you go finer and finer, and then wet sand the last result. That would be superb. I like that. Right, conclusion. Okay, so what we could probably say is myth busted on that one, I think. Yes, it makes a paste, and yes, you can put hardener with it, and yes, it sets hard, and yes, you can sand it down, but the problem comes with it, it is just too hard. It turns into a piece of steel almost. And as you can see from this, let's see if I get a bit more off that. There we go. Now that's the bit that's stuck to the scraper. As you can see, it just breaks up like cornflakes. Now if you put that in a vehicle, a bike, a car, whatever, with any vibration at all, it's just going to break, it's going to rattle out and fall out, because obviously it doesn't have any flexibility. There's obviously some form of property in regular body filler that keeps it flexible, and that's really important. You get some body fillers called plastic padding. You know, they're designed to be flexible and stay flexible with the vehicle. But this stuff absolutely is not. It goes completely rock hard. So as an emergency measure, even then, I'd say no, try and reconstitute some of your old filler if you can. Keep the dust while you're sanding, keep it in a pot, keep some nearby, tablespoon of that, tablespoon of resin, you can make some more filler. Yes, that would definitely work. We've proved that that works, even when it's a little bit damp, still works absolutely fine. But this, I think it just goes way too hard. If I were to bend that, let's bend the piece of steel. There you go, straight off. Doesn't even stick to the steel very well, and it just breaks up. So honestly, a fantastic idea using talc as body filler, but myth busted, it doesn't work. It really doesn't. I would not do it. It would have a use though, I think, if you were making a plug. If you were going to make a plug, a mold, something like that, this sacrificial plug, an original piece that you're then going to take a mold from, then that's great, because one property it has is it's super fine. Obviously the size of the granules in talcum powder are so tiny that the filler it makes is super smooth, even without being sanded. Very, very fine, almost like a ceramic, and it sands down nicely. So it could be good for that, but actually using it to fill dents, to fill scratches, I'd say definitely not, because as you can see, it doesn't stick, and it just breaks up like toffee.
Oh.
Absolute fail. So I'm afraid there you go, myth busted. I want to do a few more of these little myth buster things, because there are lots of old wives' tales out there. It's good to dispel them before you go doing it on your vehicle and ending up with a problem. So there we are. I hope you enjoyed that. Did you enjoy that, Pen?
It was fun.
I don't think Mary Berry would have enjoyed that either, would she?
No.
There we go. No. So thanks for watching. Take it easy, ride safe. Anything else, Pen?
Thank you to Ray for that wonderful plate there from Thailand.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Ray. Really appreciate that. And anybody else there, anywhere else, far-flung places in the world, if you've got a plate and you'd like to put it on the wall to display where you're watching from, then by all means get in touch. We'll give you the address and we can go from there, can't we?
Have a great Sunday.
Have a great Sunday. Take it easy, ride safe. See you next time.